Hello and welcome to this wee session. My name is Lucas Simmons. I'm your holistic nutrition practitioner. Let me ask you these questions. Are you in perimenopause or maybe into menopause right now and it is kicking your butt? That's my first question. My next question to you is your energy lower than it used to be? Your vitality? Are you the person who used to do so many more things and now it's a struggle to get through the day, or it's a struggle to keep up with the things you used to do? Are you somebody who goes to the doctor and says, I'm not feeling so great? They come back and they say, well, your labs are fine, but you don't feel normal. Or you are somebody where stress is the driver of your symptoms. When you don't sleep well, that's a stressor. Do your symptoms get worse? When you're stressed out, do your symptoms come back and with a vengeance? Yeah. Hello and welcome to my TED Talk. It's not a TED Talk. Who are we kidding? My name is Luca, and my goal is to get people feeling better and understanding that when the body is struggling with something, it is our imperative to A, listen, B, interpret the signals it is that he, she, they are sending, and C, go to those practices that are going to help down regulate whatever it is that's driving our symptoms. So, first things first, if you said yes to anything that I've mentioned, I want to be super clear. Everybody says this all the time. You're not broken. There's so much more to this saying than you're not broken because we are all you can't. It's like the equivalent of like everybody gets a medal. That's not what I mean. Why is your body reacting the way it is? Your reaction is this, and your body's sending of messages is the natural way to say, I need something to change. So when I say you're not broken, it's that maybe we're misinterpreting the signals. We feel we should go harder or we should try harder. And why are we not feeling better yet? Are you the person who's tried harder and your symptoms are getting worse all the time? This is also for you. Yes. Today, I want to share with you why learning is not necessarily the answer, but practicing and practicing differently is actually what the request is here. What am I talking about? Well, this is an orientation call that I like to kickstart every time there's a new subject happening in my Good Food Network. Good Food Network is this container that I run where we've got a mix of a couple of different things. Live sessions, old recorded stuff that's still valid, recipes, challenges, chats, different things to help you understand there's a big container with lots of different potential things to help you feel better. What does feeling better mean? It means less likely to have symptoms triggering or stress triggering your symptoms, less likely to have flares, less likely to have the migraines that you've been struggling with, less impacted by if I don't sleep well on Tuesday, I'm out for a week kind of scenario. And the end result is I actually just went 5 days without symptoms. Or I feel like I can keep up with my grandkids. Or I feel like I'm able to participate in all of these activities where I'm volunteering and I'm participating or I'm helping out in or I'm working in. Wherever you're putting your energy, you feel you have energy to put into it. And at the end of the day, you're not depleted to the point where you need 3 days to recover. That's what I want for you. That's what we build inside the Good Food Network. And the peace that I am finding from the people I serve. I send this with love because I realize sometimes it doesn't land nicely. So I'm going to say first, those of us who need this help are the people who are incredible researchers. Like hands up, who does all the research? Who does all the reading? I was just talking with the client about this today. Who does all the, okay, well, if I just understand my condition enough, I will know and I'll know what to do and I'll know how to feel better. You are maybe the person who's done tons of research on the cortisol connection to your symptoms, on adrenal fatigue. How many years and how many rabbit holes have you gone down trying to get information about these things? What about blood sugars? You're hearing a lot about insulin resistance and blood sugar imbalances and this whole energy and mitochondria and fatigue and brain fog and those kinds of things. Maybe you're like me and you have chased histamine issues for a very long time. I cannot tell you how long it took me to realize that my histamine issues were just a symptom of a dysregulated system. And the histamine piece is just one of the symptoms of a system that is struggling. A low histamine approach is no longer part of my vocabulary. I'm not saying everybody gets there, but it's the invitation. And for some of us, it can be a reality. There's also thyroid connections. If you've done any kind of deep digging, if you've suspected that you've got some low markers on some of the blood tests you've gotten, or you tend to have those symptoms that show up on all of those thyroid lists, like cracked heels or thinning hair. I had one client, she's so sweet. She's like, I love perimenopause because now I don't have to shave my legs anymore because I'm not growing any hair on my legs. Well, it turns out she had thyroid issues. And the thyroid issues, while it was handy that she didn't have to shave her legs anymore, her body didn't have enough energy to produce follicles and or to look after hair follicles and grow hair. She was low energy, and the energy systems in her body were not working well. She was exhausted. She had mood issues, and she was prone to fly off the handle, was her words, or something along that line. And she was really tired of feeling so brittle. And she chased so many different things. And she was the gal. She went to the doctor. They were like, well, you're still in the normal range. Turns out she was at the low end of the range. Did some pieces in place. And now her day-to-day function is a little bit better, which is so great. But one of these things that I want to know, whatever you've gone down, what kind of rabbit holes have you gone down? Have you gone down cortisol rabbit holes, circadian rhythm rabbit holes, adrenal fatigue, blood sugar balancing, metabolism, histamine issues, thyroid stuff? Knowing and understanding and doing that research and getting all of the pieces is not regulating. It doesn't fix the issue. So, what is triggering so much of the biochemistry that's driving your symptoms is something called the HPA axis. And this HPA axis, which is a connection of three organs that work together, the hypothalamus, the pituitary, and the adrenals, these three organs work together to regulate your energy management systems in the body. Your stress response is what it utilizes as an energy balancing mechanism. That's what ends up happening. And this HPA axis doesn't calm down because we understand it. It calms down because we consistently send that HPA axis signals of safety. Some of the ways that we do it from the recommendations, the ideas that are in the GoodFood Network. We talk, and I do with clients as well. We talk about food timing. We talk about blood sugar rhythms. We talk about the importance of minerals. We talk about the importance of sleep and what your sleep is telling us and where might you shift things for it to work better for you. Nervous system entanglement and how much that plays a role in there. So this month inside the GoodFood Network, we are moving from collecting information to gently retraining your system. Not just this month, but every month. That's what the GoodFood Network is about. It's not just giving you the why, it's giving you the how. The why, a lot of us need the why. And many of us start to really hang on to the why and really just zero in on the why, forgetting to do the how. And we find all of a sudden we're not getting better. And you can eventually let go of the why and just do the how. And that's actually when you see a shift in your symptoms for many, many different reasons. So, our main theme for the month of March and into April as well will be the adrenals. That HPA axis is a part of the adrenals, the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. It's where these three organs meet and talk together. They have a cuppa every day together. They talk a lot over the course of the day. How might you know that your HPA axis or your adrenals are perhaps struggling? I'm going to go over the top 3 to 4 core struggles that I see in my clientele that are connected to this theme. So, are you somebody who gets tired but wired? I was just talking to a client before I logged on here, and we were talking about how is going to sleep. This is one of the ways that I figure this out. And he said, well, I'm pretty good if I go to sleep at 10, that's like the sweet spot. It works really well. But if I don't get into bed before then, if I stay up till 11, then I'm kind of like, it's going to be really hard for me to get to sleep later. And I stay up and I read and it's pretty calm, but I have a really difficult time getting back to sleep. So the tired but staying awake kind of feeling is one of those core struggles that I will see in people who are struggling with their adrenals. It can also show up in other ways. It can show up as a crash mid-afternoon. Are you somebody who needs a snack at work or a fifth cup of coffee? Do you get that second win in the evening? Do you get light or fragmented sleep? And then you're still tired the next morning, but you can still get all the things done because it's fine. And there's also a little bit of a fire under your butt because you're just going to get the things done. And oh my God, I'm really stressed out. Is that a part of your physiology? You're not broken. It's just telling us what kind of energy system your body's using. Second way that I tend to see it in clients, if there's adrenal issues, they are on a blood sugar roller coaster all day long. They may feel shaky between meals. They may have cravings for sugar. If somebody's got cookies at work, they can't not eat an entire sleeve of those cookies or 5 of the 12 on the table. Oops, I don't know where they went. Oh. Or you may have the reverse and have cravings for salt. Chips is the perfect example, or pasta, or rice. I've seen it as rice as well. You feel worse if you skip meals. This is you. Or you've tried intermittent fasting. Or you thought you would go low carb and you actually felt worse. You got worse sleep, worse moods, worse energy. You didn't actually resolve the issue. So, are you somebody who is on a blood sugar roller coaster all day? You are somebody who needs some support in the adrenals arena. Third way I see it mostly is brain fog and inflammation. Do you find it hard to focus? Are you more reactive to foods? Or do you have histamine flares when you're stressed? Do your symptoms have a histamine piece to it? And when you're stressed, do they go off? Brain fog and inflammation certainly has a potential histamine piece to the picture. The fourth person that I see in this scenario is the everything looks normal, but I feel like crap person. So your labs are in range, your energy is not great, or your mood is really struggling, or your resilience is not there. You can't bounce back, or you're snapping, and then you realize you need to separate yourself from your family until after dinner because now you're not a part of the family because you've turned into a monster, which is exactly what happened to me. Yeah. It's another little love letter from the body. Perimenopause transition, especially, is where you'll see some of this ramp up. If that perimenopause transition is kicking your arse, you are a contender for joining us in the Good Food Network. It's not a disease problem. This is a regulation problem. And some of the biochemistry behind the scenes is asking for help. What is one of those organs asking for help? The adrenals. My favorite part of the work I do is that food becomes powerful. I think when people think of holistic nutrition, they think of going dairy-free and gluten-free. I'm the last person who will tell you that, unless it's indicated. But even there, I won't even suggest it. I'll do other things first because I don't come from the land of takeout. I come from the land of let's just feed you. I am a grandmother in training. I'm an ancestor in training as well. I want to do the things that help us. Okay, so I want to give you a little bit of a mini kind of experiment for you to try because this video is going out to my newsletter subscribers. I always like to make sure you've got something in here that you can play with. And these are the kinds of things that we do inside the Good Food Network. So it gives you a bit of a taste test as well. So for the next 3 days, here's your invitation. You may already be doing this. And if you've followed my stuff for a while, you're probably already onto this, especially if you're a former client. Eat within 60 minutes of waking. Okay, so these are kind of the rules of the game. Eat within an hour of waking up. Get protein in your belly. Get some kind of natural salt. Get a little healthy fat. My favorite right now is olive oil because we just went to Spain and they put olive oil on everything and it feels so right. And then add some carbs in there. Your carbs might be a piece of toast, might be root veg, could be fruit, could be oatmeal. What else would count as carbs? Like, like butternut squash. Something in addition to the protein and fat. So, what would be a really great idea here? Eat something with protein, fats, and carbs. So, sausage with some sweet potatoes from last night, sauteed in some olive oil. Great, we're done. Or what if you had a cup of stock? It's got a bit of protein in it, and you added some butternut squash from the freezer and some peas and some shredded chicken. Yep, that's if you're into making meat stock and you'll have extra chicken lying around. Or eggs with potatoes left from last night, heated up in the pan with a bit of butter, and you get bonus points if you threw in Swiss chard, I guess, if you're feeling virtuous, or parsley. I don't care. I'm looking for protein, fats, and carbs will come from your grains, your root vegetables, or your fruit. So we could also do a couple of eggs and a bowl of blueberries here with some coconut milk on top. There's the combo. So try something like this within the first 60 minutes of getting up in the morning. No coffee until after your food. Do this simple little experiment. So this kind of breakfast and this way of eating, if you eat within the first hour of being up, you wait for coffee till the end, and you build your breakfast accordingly, this is going to send safety signals to that HPA axis, turning off the stress response. It stabilizes cortisol rhythm. It reduces your mid-afternoon crashes. It actually gives you a lot of stuff so you'll better sleep that night, and so on and so forth. You don't need to know why yet. We'll talk about it in the Good Food Network, but that's the homework. That's the do piece. Because it's so nice to get all the information. Now, what do you do? Like, what does that, how does that show up in your day? How differently will you move through your day? So, this is your mini experience. So, tomorrow morning, you're going to eat in that first hour of being up. You're going to add protein and a pinch of salt, some fat, and then some root veg or fruit or something. And then you're going to have coffee at the end. Do that for 3 days and then notice what has changed. You're going to notice changes in energy, brain capacity over the course of the day, mood, symptoms. Your symptoms may get better actually, sleep, and your capacity should increase. If it doesn't, then it tells us something else that needs some help, and I can help you with that. But 95% of people will notice a difference within 3 days. You have to do the 3 days consistently and in a row to notice what shifts. So I give you this little mini experience to try in the coming days. And then if you notice something and you're like, whoa, I want you to imagine what doing this with support and structure, recipes, and accountability for a full month might look like. That's what we do. So I want to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes look at what it is that we're doing within the Good Food Network, because there's a little bit of, there's so many little moving pieces to it. So I have a little slideshow. I'm nothing if not prepared. And we're going to start here. Make this smaller. Oh, hi. So the adrenals. This is our focus for the month of March, and we'll be doing the same in the month of April, so we are spending a good chunk of time on this. But we're doing it as a foundation for metabolic health. The adrenals are quite possibly one of the most substantial parts of supporting your metabolism to work well. So let's go see what is happening inside the month here in the Good Food Network. Yes, it's spring where some of us are. So again, our main topic, adrenals. Everybody's got them. Everybody, including males. I had some male clients who didn't think they did. They thought it was a girl thing. No. So the two little red-shaped things are your kidneys, and sitting on top, it looks like little hats. Those are your adrenals. They're like the size of your thumb. They're not very big, but the size of a walnut, maybe even. Everybody's got two. And they are one of the biggest players in metabolism and how your body's energy system works. And it is our focus this month. Now, in the Good Food Network, we do a weekly half-hour session every Thursday. This week, we're doing a session called the Adrenals as a Metabolic Thermostat. The following week, we'll be talking about cortisol in depth and what is her job description, what happens when she's working overtime. In our third week, we're going to tie in why adrenals and blood sugar issues, what they have to do with energy storage, and why this is the metabolic health piece. And then the fourth week, we're talking about undereating, overperforming, and the cost to metabolism. These sessions happen every Thursday. So I do it in a way where your cameras are off and your microphones are off. So if you want to have this playing in the kitchen while you're getting ready for the day, you can totally do that. I also have the replays available. So any live sessions we do, you can access on your own time, whenever, anytime after they've aired. And of course, they're all about our main topic. When you join us in the Good Food Network, you also get access to a 2-hour live class that I run every month. There's a different one every month. This coming March 18th, I think is the date, I'm doing one called SOS Burnout, when your energy is gone and your spark won't return. And that's what we're working towards from right to left in this scenario. So this is going to be one of our main sessions inside the network. You would get access to it. You can also buy just this class by itself if you prefer. Oh my gosh, we have way more than just the video classes, though. We also have foods. Every month, there's 5 recipes, and we're focusing on adrenals. We're doing seasonal foods as well, and variations for those who need it, where we'll go low histamine. So this month, there's a sweet potato pancakes recipe. There is a Thai black rice sticky pudding with fruit, which is an amazing helper to adrenals. Yeah, it's super high in carbs. What? I thought I couldn't. Yeah, I know. We talk about how to make the carbohydrates work better for you. This is actually the early version of a recipe that eventually made it into the Histamine Haven cookbook. So this is included in your recipe package. There's 3 more. I can't remember what they are. There's also a weekly food challenge. So each week there's a new food to bring in to support your adrenals. And I give you ideas. Today our food was cauliflower. So I give you a series of ways to think about adding cauliflower to meals. There's a recipe at the end for a quick stir fry for a weeknight dinner. So you'll see a different food featured every week with that challenge of bringing it in. And in addition to all of this, there is also an entire module dedicated to the power of seasonal eating. This is based on a course I used to run that was 6 weeks long for each season, so 24 weeks in total for the 4 seasons. It was quite dense, and I've winnowed it down to 1 module because nobody needs that much reading. So, why this is a missing piece. When we eat, when what is on our plate is matching what's outside our front door, my friend Tracy came up with this saying. I think that's brilliant. When what's on your plate matches what's happening outside, so much of your inner function will be so much better. Your metabolism is better. Your body is expecting things on the plate to match what's happening outside. So it's another way to create more biochemical safety. So we just switched to spring because here in the Netherlands it's spring. The crocuses have come and they're on their way out, and we've got the startings of everything in the forests around town is the best. So we talk about foods to feature in spring. We talk about teas and herbs and superb foods to help nourish you through the spring season. What kind of organs to focus on and what you might think about when putting things together for meals. And again, there's another recipe bundle. There's so many recipes to help you take advantage of the season's bounty. I think one of the recipes in the spring package is scrambled eggs with fiddleheads. It's such an easy meal, and it is so very much aligned with springtime. Now, in Alberta, I'm pretty sure you can't do that till the end of April, May even, depending on the year, but we'll get you there. It'll still be there at that time. So, just to give you a little bit of an inkling what you can expect. Now, in addition, you get access to a 3-hour class called the Vitality Adrenals class. This is a class I used to run for a full Sunday at the Light Cellar in Calgary many years ago. And this is a cornerstone of metabolic health and how we create personal safety in your body. So in this course, the course by itself is $80. You get access to it lifetime with your membership. So you get a deep comprehension of how your adrenals work in the body. You understand all the moving parts that work together here. You pinpoint what is driving your adrenals to work extra hard, and then we'll identify foods as tools that help and those that hinder. It's a deep class. And the new way that I'm doing this in the network, you can access it for life. You have to decide and go through the motions of going to purchase it, and you use the coupon to get 100% off, and then you have this course for lifetime and immediate access. Now, everything within the Good Food Network is always available on demand. So everything we do live is available on replay. So you don't need to attend live, but you can. And as soon as you register to join us in the Good Food Network, you get immediate access. You get to dive into those recipes. You get to dive into this week's food challenge. If you're joining after we've had a food as medicine session, then you get access to the latest one all month long. And it is updated all of the time. So, just a little reminder before we hop off of this slideshow. Your adrenals will not rebalance through insight. They rebalance through daily signals. And inside of the Good Food Network, this is what we do. We talk about what are those daily signals to send to your body? What are those daily small shifts that you can put in place? What is it that your body is asking for? Let's help you build it. So now you've seen all the different parts there is behind the Good Food Network. Seasonal eating module, deep dive access, replays, so many different things. I want to talk about the before and after picture. So if we picture ourselves at this current time right now, you are in the before time, right? What is your before picture? Is it somebody who's tired but wired? Pulling things out of nowhere, it feels like, because you just need to get another thing done. Are you exhausted? Are you guessing what to eat? Are you reacting to symptoms? Are you adding more? Are you restricting more things in your life? Are you trying random supplements? Are you feeling like something is off, but you are unsure where? This is your after picture, hanging out for a month or longer inside the Good Food Network. What does it feel like? You might have more stable energy. You might have fewer crashes. You may have better capacity to get through your day without flying off the handle. You may have a clearer rhythm around meals and how to feed yourself. You may have better sleep onset. As you put some of these pieces in place, you should be getting more confidence in your plate, so there's less guesswork involved. And my goal at the end of all this for everybody I work with everywhere is I want you to feel like you're working with your body, not against it. You're not adding more rules, you're actually subtracting and giving it what it is she wants so that it works better. It's not perfect, it's not superhuman, that's not what we're reaching for, just steadier. My goal for you is to feel calmer, to feel steadier, to feel clearer, like there's less on the table, and you can, it's just simpler. Can we get you to that stage? So if you're ready to move from learning to practicing, if you want a container, not more tabs open in your browser, I like that analogy. If you want to use food as a lever for regulation, where you can down regulate whatever it is that's driving your symptoms, then I invite you to join us inside the Good Food Network the month of March 2026. It is $40 a month, but newsletter readers, you get it for $5 off. So find the link to that inside your newsletter. It'll be there. I also have a special rate for anybody who's a former client. So I send you that link once a year because I don't want to bombard you, but you can always send me a message, either email or a message on the hub, and say, I want to go to the network, Luca. So if you want to join us, it's $30 for you because you get a deal. Yeah. It's a 7-day guarantee. You can cancel anytime. And if you don't like it within the first 7 days, I will reimburse you and eat that $5 that I lose to the payment systems that I have set up that they take. I'll absorb it. I've only had to do it once, and it was because she signed up for 17 things and it was too much. You don't need more information, pal. You need a rhythm. I would love to help you build that this month. So, on the Good Food Network, inside of the network, we focus on structure. We've got a lovely weekly rhythm of things, and you get into it. We get implementation over theory. Well, I provide the theory for those people who need it before they'll do the thing. And I very clearly lay out if you don't want the theory, where it is you can jump to in the video to jump into the solutions. We talk about recipes that will match your physiology. We do gentle accountability with the invitation to chat. There's a group chat where you can post questions or chat about what it is you're working on. We've got safety and replay always, always available to allow for that maximum flexibility for everybody who's going to join us. It's a container. It's not a course library. You're not getting access to oodles. I've handpicked stuff and made it so that the person who wants a small wedge of pie will take a small wedge of pie. The person who needs a quarter of the cake will take a quarter of the cake if they want it. You get to take what you want, and at the stages of going small to big, you will say yes to what it is you need, and it is very easily provided for you. So you go as far as you want to. It's a container, yeah. So we're not overloading with too many scientific details. There's not going to be long supplement lines. In fact, we never do supplements. We are going to keep this real. We're going to keep it focused, and we're going to keep it delicious. Because if it's not that, is it worth doing? That's my question. Thanks for joining me this week. I hope that you have enjoyed the content. I'd be curious to know if you could picture yourself with that after picture. What do you see? What do you want? Start there, just manifest it. And then, if you're joining us in the network, can't wait to see you. Salut, à bientôt.